Hello, guess who and guess what? Well, the guess who is me, Robbie Susan Chandler, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Quincy, Florida. I live close to Tallahassee, Florida, and if you live in the area, I'd love for you to come over and join me for an in-person class. I hold classes in my home every 2 weeks on Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays, and a Thursday evening class. I also have a website called RobbieSusansCardsandCrafts.com. Now, let's see what the what is today. Look at this card. Isn't that beautiful? But wait, there's more. It's an easel card. And see how it stands up on the table like that. There's a problem with video and it's hard to see the beauty of an easel card. Let me bring it up a little closer. And like I said, there's the side. So let's take a look at how we put this beautiful card together. Let me move my name out of the way since you know who I am now. Alright, let's start with our card base. And it is Early Espresso. And it's 8.5 by 5.5. And you scored it 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. So 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 2 1/8, 4 1/4. So let's see what that looks like. So you fold it in half, and then you fold the top half in half again. And I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish those so when we get ready to do our easel, they'll stand up. So there's our base. Now the next piece is a piece of pecan pie, and it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And this is the piece that's actually going to fit here when we get everything built on it. So it's 5.5, 4 1/4 pecan pie. Alright, and then we're going to use this gorgeous, let me get it here, this gorgeous autumn toile paper. And this is the piece we're going to use, but the pack also has this piece in it. Let me turn it this way. And this one with some fox. And then here's one with some pumpkins and corn. So it's a really pretty set, and like I said, it's called Autumn Toile. I have trouble with that word, but I'll do my best there. Not a word I use very often. And the piece we're going to be working with is 4 1/2. Here it is. I'm sorry, 4 by 5 1/4. Or 4 by 5 1/2. Either one, the length really doesn't matter, but you do want to cut it 4 because our 12 by 12 paper is more efficiently cut if you cut it by 4s. So 4 by 5 1/4 or close to it. So we're going to cut it with this set called Sentimental Frames Dies. I love this set, and the one we're going to use is the biggest one, and it looks like this. So we're just going to lay it down down on our paper like this. And when we do, it'll cut these two, let me turn around, it'll cut these two pieces. So when you cut, make sure if you're cutting more than one, make sure you keep your pieces together. So we cut it, and we've got these two pieces. I don't know if you can see the little design around the edge, but it has a very pretty decorative design. And it's got some little holes you need to make sure you poke out. Alright, so we've got that piece cut. Now, one other piece I want to show you is this piece of Very Vanilla that's 4 3/4 by 2, and it just simply is a piece that you put under here to write on. And I just stamped the deer from Autumn Trees on there, so I have something decorative inside. And the It's Your Day that's right here is from Coneflower Celebration. It's that stamp right there, and I stamped both of those in Early Espresso. Alright, so let's get to some other steps in this card. Now, like I said, we've cut these two. Let me get this one out of the way. Now, what are we going to do with this? I'm going to move this one for the moment. I'm going to put a little piece of scrap paper underneath here. Now, I don't know if you can tell by looking at this, but you see there's color on my background pieces. So let's see which colors I put on there. I started with crumb cake. And you just ink up your blending brush really good. And I just like to start off on the side and just start swiping. And my crumb cake is not real dark right now, but I did not want this step right down here to be dark. You notice it's, so you can see my paper where it's coming on there. Okay, I think that's plenty. So you come about 1/3 of the way up. So see, we've done 1/3 of the way with the crumb cake. Let's put it out of the way. Now my next step is a basic beige. Now this basic beige is an interesting color. It's supposed to be beige, but I want you to notice when you start putting it on your card, it kind of has a little green tint to it, which is why I used it, because I felt like it was a a good kind of hint of a grass effect without being green, you know, like a really green, because I had the crumb cake and then we're going to use cloud cover. I don't know if you could see that, but there's a little bit of green there, or the basic beige. And then last but not least, at the top, I'm going to add some cloud cover. Now, we don't sell these pads. There are some on the clearance rack right now, but you can get a blank ink spot and the re-inker and make yourself a little cloud cover ink pad. And see, this is a very soft blue that I kind of want this area up here to be a sky effect. All right, you see there? Can you see that? I think that's, I'm going to put a little bit more, just a touch. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so there's that piece. And you know what? That is not the piece I meant to do. I meant to do a different piece, but let's do it real quick because I already had the frame down. So let's go back, and you can watch me do this one more time, and we'll do it quick in case you didn't get it the first time. Hey, you can watch the second time. So my brushes should be nice and inked up now. There's my crumb cake. It's coming on nicely. You know, just a hint of brown to give you a ground effect. I think that's plenty. And then back to the supposedly basic beige, but we're going to call it, we'll call it basic beige, but it's really kind of a green tint. And you notice this doesn't take long, and I like to start off the edge, and that way you don't get a blotch. You know, the brushes are bad about blotching if you hit them in the wrong place, especially if it's dark color. These light colors aren't as bad about it. Okay, I think that's plenty. See, that just kind of breaks that background. What I like about this effect is that it makes it stand out from the frame, because we didn't put any color on the frame, and then we've got all our color on this background piece. All right, see, that didn't take long to do the second one. And if you didn't want to watch me do the second one, you know there's always fast forward on these videos. Okay, so the frame is going to go on your pecan pie piece, and I've already put that on here, and this is why I had to color this one, because I'd already put this one on and it matches up, so I had to make sure I had the one that matched and didn't have this crazy design. So we put this frame on with dimensionals to pop it up. Can you see that? And then this piece in the middle just goes on flat. And that way you have a little difference in heights, so it makes the frame pop a little more. All right, so you see the difference? Our outside is has the very vanilla background, but we've colored or blended in some color on the inside, so that makes it stand out more. All right, now one more thing is I cut some deer with the die from Autumn Trees Dies, and they look like this. I love this little deer set because I like the fact they have a little green and a rock, and then the two deer there. It's just, I think they did a really nice job on this die. And I put dimensionals just on the back of the deer and one on the rock. And you just slide it down here in this bottom area. And you can make it as tall or as short as you want it. I'm going to put mine about right there. And see, there we have our little deer. Now to put that on your card, what you have to do is, see, it folds in half and then it folds again. And you only want your glue on this bottom area. So I call it the bottom half of the front. Come on, glue. There we go. And you can put your glue side to side because the piece we're gluing down goes side to side, and you want it to stay. So just match up the bottom. Now you're matching the bottom. Don't put the top here. You're putting the bottom. I've seen people put the top. It's like, no, it doesn't work if you glue the top down. And just kind of hold it. Let me make sure it's even. Very good. Okay. Just hold it for a second. And while that's setting, let me show you these pieces. So our little stopper, this little thing here, is cut with pecan pie, and it's with this die from Sentimental Frames. And we're just going to put that on with dimensionals. And then the next layer is very vanilla, and it's also a die from Sentimental Frames. It's this one. And see, they have little decorative designs that all match. And I have put 2 of those together with dimensionals. And the reason we want to pop all that up is so our card will have a little stopper to make it stop. Alright, let's get this off. Here we go. Now you can decide how far back you want to put this. And I kind of like mine standing up pretty tall. And you know, one piece we need to stick in here is our piece to sign our name on. That's the one thing about an easel card. You do need to provide an area to sign your name or write a little sentiment. So let's just stick this piece down right under there. And that way this doesn't show when your easel's standing up. Alright, let's see if it's going to stand up. And I kind of hope it doesn't, so I can show you what to do. Well, it does. So if it didn't stand up, what you would need to do is just take this right here and burnish it really good. That one fold is the secret to making this stand up. So there you go. Here are 2 easel cards. Aren't those pretty? I just love the way the sponging and the brush blending in the background makes that back area stand up more. So I hope you like this card. I hope you'll try to do it. It's not a hard card at all. Please like my video, please share my video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. If you need to buy supplies, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I have links to all these supplies below. And right now for the month of October, and this is the year 2025, I don't know what year you'll be watching this, we're having a great joining special if you'd like to be on my team or you'd like to get a little 20% discount on your supplies. For $35, you can pick $125 in any current supplies that you want, or for $99 you can pick out $189 in any current supplies that you would like. So those are 2 great joining specials, and you're not obligated to do anything after that if you don't want to. But if you do want to stay current, you're just required to order $300 in supplies every 3 months. Now when you first sign up, $300 isn't required until the end of March. So they give you a little leeway there. So, until next time, happy crafting.